A very good morning, welcome. It's Jeff Laughton online. It's about 10:15 on Monday the 2nd of June. Well, we're into a brand new month now, and hopefully June will be every bit as good as May was. I put up plenty of winners on this channel last month, and we made over 80 points profit on the private service as well. I've got two very strong bets up there today, so if you are interested in getting to know what they are or getting involved in the future, then just drop me an email at the email address below, which is jefflawtonmanagement@gmail.com. Now, we got the Epsom Derby at the end of this week, which is something to look forward to, and I'll be going there both days with top hat and tails on the Saturday. Now, it's always one of my favourite meetings of the whole year, probably even more so than Royal Ascot itself. Now, other than COVID year, I've been to Royal Ascot for about the last 20 years, and for some reason they allowed me into the Royal Enclosure about 15 years ago, and I've been ever since. Well, the standards must have dropped. I was lucky enough to own a horse that won at Royal Ascot 4 years ago, and also probably landed my biggest ever gamble. That was a horse called Significantly that I owned with Carl Burke. And it wasn't just the money that I won, it was the plan that came to fruition. We'd run the horse in a conditions race at Hamilton the race before Ascot, and the conditions of the race were that the handicapper could only reassess the winner. And that winner was Dragon Symbol, who went on to win the Group 1 Commonwealth Cup at Royal Ascot that same year, but was disqualified for interference. But because Significantly finished second, the handicapper couldn't touch his mark until he ran again. So I made the decision not to run for about 5 weeks until Royal Ascot came around, so he would run off exactly the same mark, and that proved vital. I was backing him for over a month at 16-1, even though I knew we needed cut in the ground and we weren't sure to get it in the middle of June. But as if by some miracle, it was torrential rain for 24 hours before the race. The stewards inspected the track twice and came close to abandoning the meeting, and racing went ahead on heavy ground, and he won by a fast diminishing head at 10-1. If the handicapper had been able to reassess him after his Hamilton run, he would probably have gone up 3 or 4 pounds, and that would have been the difference between winning and losing. Out of all the 75 winners that I've owned, that one, and unfortunately winning the Group 1 Prix Morning at Deauville, were the two best days of my racing life, I have to say. Anyway, let's look at today's racing. Before we start, as always, please hit the subscribe button. It does help you not to hang around waiting. YouTube will notify you when I put a video up, and it's free to do it as well. So let's start today's racing at Brighton. And in the 3 o'clock, Lazar of Richard Hughes has been all the rage today. He's currently about 4-6, and he probably should win this. However, I don't think he should be so short. Get Ready to Rumble's form is on a par, and Hatal of Ollie Sangster costs 320,000 guineas as a yearling. Although I do note he has changed stables from Andrew Ball into Ollie Sangster before he's even run. I think it's a race I would prefer to sit out of. In the 3:35, Moi Moi Loco of Simon Dow has caught the eye on the last 2 runs. Last time was over this course, but over 7 furlongs. He steps up to a mile today, and he's probably the most likely winner. In the 5:15, class-wise, this is as low as it gets. It's not a handicap, it's a classified stakes, which means that the handicap mark is irrelevant as they all run off the same mark. Last year's winner's Victor's Dream, trained by Marco Botti, finished second last time out to Port Hedland. That was after 182 days off, and he should strip fitter today. The second favourite, Anglesey Lad, is a bit of a tearaway and still a maiden after 18 runs. He should set it up for Victor's Dream to come through late. At Windsor in the 5:40, this looks a complicated race to sort out, but I did like the way Forever My Prince stayed on at Newmarket 2 weeks ago and should be in the shake-up here. The 7:15 at Windsor is a really strong 6 furlong handicap with at least 5 improvers. If Richard Fye's horses were in better form, I would have put up Strong Warrior as a bet, but one winner from 49 runners, you can't really back his runners just yet. One that caught my eye last time was Mythical Composer of Clive Cox's. He was a clear second behind a horse called Towersol, who is way too good for that grade, and at about 6 to 1, 13 to 2, it could be worth a small interest. At Wetherby in the 6 o'clock, the obvious one is Vlad of Simon and Ed Crisford's, who is a very good second to one of Godolphin's smart 2-year-olds at Newmarket. You'd expect him to go and take this as a matter of course. However, I'm told Rogue Supremacy of David O'Mara's is special. The yard had a 7-length winner at Ripon on Thursday called Solano Rose, who had only been beaten 2 lengths on her debut in a listed race at York. Now I'm told that Rogue Supremacy is better than that, and they expect to win here and then go to Royal Ascot with a live chance. In the 6:30, the 2 at the front of market should fight out the finish, although I say again, Richard Fye's horses are bang out of form, and that should leave the way clear for Richard Hughes' Mimas Air Force. In the 9 o'clock, the 2 I like here are Hidden Verse and Nova May. I don't particularly like 5 furlong handicaps, but Hidden Verse has been in good form and could well take the beating here. I'm going to leave that there, short and sweet today. Again, if you're interested in the private service, I've got 2 very strong bets today. Drop me an email at the email address below, jefflaughtonmanagement@gmail.com. And if you're not interested in the private service, that's fine. Just make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll try and speak to you at the same time tomorrow. Many thanks.